Hey, it's Claude Johnson, and welcome to Volume 2 of Art of the Blues Riff. Alright, so, hope you're doing well today. I'm a little bit tired today, but we're going to deal with it anyway. There's no time like the present, so today's a good day for a video. Alright, so, just to review, in Volume 1 of Art of the Blues Riff, we took a very arpeggio-based approach. Okay, so, for example, in the key of G, so you can hear right there, like when I went to the 4 chord, then back to the 1, and so on. That is a great approach because it's very harmonic in the sense that we're hitting the chord tones, so we're focusing on the the harmonic quality of the notes, and like I said, it's an arpeggio-based approach. That can be very powerful. We spent a lot of time looking at all the 5 positions on the neck and how we can apply that, and make licks with starting on different notes and stuff like that. This volume is all about the dominant chord. It's more of a chordal approach, okay, which is also really important. So we're gonna sort of deconstruct the dominant chord. So let's jump right into it. You could think of this in a very simple way. Like when you think about dominant chords, you might think, oh, it's just a chord, and I know that it's the third, or the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. But let's go a little bit deeper and look at some of the different combinations. You can really deconstruct the chord and get different combinations, different harmonic possibilities. Okay, so what I'm talking about is, let's take every combination of 2 notes. Okay, so we've got the root and third. Okay, we've got the root and fifth. We've got the root and seventh. And then we've got the third and fifth, the third and seventh, and then finally the fifth and seventh. So that's 6 combinations of 2 notes. Now, I like to give these combinations little nicknames. It may sound weird to you, but I just remember it that way. You could feel free to not do that or make your own nicknames, but I'll share mine with you, and maybe you'll like them. So it's kind of a food-themed set of names. Okay, so I'll just tell you them right now, and then we'll go through them. So the root and the fifth, I call that bread. Okay, and I'll explain why these names a little bit later as we go through each one. So root and fifth is bread. I know this is getting weird already, right? So hey, it is what it is. All right, so root and fifth is bread. Root and third is butter. Root and seventh is wine. Third and fifth is egg. Third and seventh is pepper. And last but not least, fifth and seventh is potato. Okay, so we'll get into each of these, but I don't know. I just think it's a lot more fun, and it's easier to remember. If I have to remember third and fifth versus fifth and seventh, it's very easy to just, I don't know, the brain gets tired and just it gets all jumbled up. Not easy to remember. So, and I think the names that I gave them sort of have some meaning to me as far as how they sound. You could, like I said, you could come up with your own names. The only thing I would suggest is take a set of names and stick with it. Otherwise, it'll just get too weird, too confusing. Okay, so now I want to take each of these ideas through a 12-bar blues, but we'll do that a little bit later. For now, let's just focus on the basic kind of components, basic harmonic components, and then a little bit later in the course, we will focus on playing it through the 12-bar blues. Each of these ideas can be played over the 1, 4, and 5. And then after that, we'll go even beyond the dominant chord into the full Mixolydian scale. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, one way to make things make sense musically is you always relate everything back to the root or back to the dominant chord. So, for example, you know, I like this shape. It's very. I like to use my thumb, but you could play it like this. It's just a kind of your best friend dominant 7th chord with the root on the low E string. So I got this note, 3rd fret, and then I skip over the A string, and then I got 3rd fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret. Okay, that's kind of like what I always go back to. So no matter what I'm playing here, let's say that one. You know, in that case, it's very simple. You could just kind of go without a transition. But maybe if you're playing something up here, this is a very kind of this is what I call the potato one, but it's a kind of a blues cliche. And a lot of times you'll hear something like this. So it kind of walks down the minor pentatonic scale, but notice how it just resolves back to that root. Okay? Anyway, the point is, whatever you're playing, try to relate it back to the root, and then it'll make sense as a real blues riff.